Hello, Yu-Gi-Oh players, and welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Business Casual. I am your host, the RJB0. So I figure while we are waiting for Patrick Hoban to make his next move, I will do a deck analysis very quickly of my favorite deck of this particular ARG CS tournament. It is the Curry Bandit Ghostrick Dark whatever this is. um, it's a great deck. I absolutely love it. And let's get down to the nitty-gritty of this. First off, we have the triple Curry Bandit, as promised. This card is freaking amazing. It loads up the graveyard with darks, which is good for basically everything that makes this deck good, which you'll see in a second. It also gives you access to your back row things like extra Reckless Greed if you've got a Reckless Greed in your hand. It can give you the beginning of the end, which is one of the win conditions for this deck. It's just a freaking amazing card for this deck. And of course, it's a tour guide target, so he has to run the triple tour guide. He is going to be banishing a lot of monsters in this deck, so access to Leviair is critical. You can also go for Tempo, which is a really good card this format, because it can take out Honor Arc. It goes for Alucard, which is freaking amazing. So Tour Guide is a great choice for this deck. It also loads up the graveyard with darks, which is a good thing. Then you've got the actual Ghostrick engine. You've got your triple Jiangshi, your triple Mary, triple Spectre, and one Jack Frost. A lot of people kind of debate between Spectre and Lantern, but it really depends on your playstyle and what you're looking for. In this deck, your plan is to dig for your boss monsters. So Spectre giving you an extra draw off of its summon as opposed to Lantern, which just allows you to negate an attack, is really, really critical. So I think the triple Ghostrick Spectre over the Ghostrick Lantern was a good choice for this deck. And of course, for the instance in which he is about to get OTK'd, he can use Jack Frost to stop that. Then we have the boss monsters. Triple Dark Creator, one Dark Armed. This is what makes this deck go. This card is freaking amazing when you've got 5 or more Dark Monsters in your graveyard while you control no other monsters. You can special summon it, and once per turn you can banish one Dark Monster from your graveyard to target one Dark Monster in your graveyard and special summon that monster. So if you summon one of these guys, and then he dies, if you summon another one of these guys, then you can use him to banish a Ghostrick monster, to go into another one, and go into Felgrand or Heliopolis. So that's a freaking amazing play. This card also allows you to bring back things like Jiangshi in order to get things like Ghostrick Alucard plays. They can just bring back each other, which I honestly think is the best move for them. But there are just so many plays that you can make with the Dark Creator. It's an amazing card, and considering that you're going to be milling them fairly regularly off of Curry Bandit, it makes sense to be running the 3 of it over a lesser number, even though you aren't likely to be using all of them in one game. Then, of course, you've got Dark Armed. Then you've got Triple Maxi. This guy is anticipating the matchup against decks that run Soul Charge. So running the Maxi forces the Soul Charge to stop whatever it's doing, because when you're playing Soul Charge, you know you can't win. So the thing about taking the Max C challenge is you always make it if you know you can win that turn. If you play Soul Charge, you can't win that turn, so it doesn't make sense for you to push through it. So this card breaks Soul Charge plays. It also allows you to draw into your Jack Frost in case you're going to get OTK'd, things like that. Great card for the main deck, especially in the post-Dragons of Legend format. Then you've got Allure of Darkness. It's a dark deck. Monster Reincarnation allows you to get your Dark Armed Dragon or your Dark Creator back, and you can get it off of Curry Bandit. It's not likely to get milled, so that's really good. Triple MST, there are just a lot of cards that are going to be problematic for this deck, especially since people are playing Vanity's Emptiness now. That is that. Then you've got the beginning of the end. This is a card that people haven't seen in ages. What it says is there are 7 or more dark monsters in your graveyard. Remove from play 5 dark monsters in your graveyard to target or to draw 3 cards. This card is a plus freaking 2. The only stipulation to it is that you have to have 7 dark monsters in your graveyard. But that isn't going to be an issue because Ghostrick Mary loads up a Jiangshi, and when Jiangshi goes to the graveyard, it hits Spectre. So that's 3 dark monsters of the 7 already. If you go into Tour Guide for Curry Bandit, that's another 2. If you hit Curry Bandit, chances are you're going to get even more dark monsters in the graveyard. So you put this card on the board, remove play 5 of them. 5 dark monsters to draw 3 cards. It's just an amazing card. And no, DN isn't glitching out. It is that dark. It's just a really weird-looking card. Then you've got your trap lineup, your bottomless, your double needle sealing, which is a crazy cool play because especially against the big soul charge format that we've got going on, when your opponent puts a ton of monsters on the board, you just hit that needle sealing and the game stops right there. I mean, like, usually you're going to go 1-for-1 with the needle sealing because you're not going to lose your monster because it's going to be face down. So hitting the needle sealing doesn't hurt you. It stops the soul charge, so it essentially stops monsters from being summoned, makes your opponent lose however many life points they had to lose for those monsters being summoned. It's just a brilliant card, this format. Triple Reckless Greed. Once again, this deck is all about digging. The more you can dig, the better you're going to do. So if you can dig into those double Reckless Greeds, you are in amazing shape. And chances are, even if you Reckless Greed, you're still going to be able to get as much draw power as you would have anyway, just without your draw phase. You've got the obligatory Warning Torrential, double Trap Stun. The side deck is fairly self-explanatory. You've got a Crow, double Veiler. Double Messenger of Peace is a great card. Blackhorn is fairly staple this format. Debunk is amazing against many matchups, including Boojins, Mermails, Dragon Rulers, etc. You've got Double Deck Debbie, takes down Harpies, destroys Geargia. So if you can put that Dark Creator or what's it called? Yeah, Dark Creator was the one I was thinking of. If you can put Dark Creator or Downer, that's what I was looking for. If you can put Downer on the board, Deck Debbie just wrecks it. Or if you're playing against Spellbooks, Dark World, etc., this card is really good, the Eradicator Epidemic Virus. And then, of course, you've got the third needle sealing for those decks that just can't help but spam. Soul Drain, because you don't care about your graveyard effects. And, of course, Transmigration Prophecy, which is a really interesting card because it allows you to stop Soul Charge plays from being really devastating. It stops Dragon Rulers. It's just a really great card. The Exeter deck is fairly self-explanatory, just the kinds of things you would expect for a deck that runs all of these ranks. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't, let me know why in the comment section below. And of course, subscribe for more decks, discussion, analysis, and general Yu-Gi-Oh! Shenanigans. Meanwhile, thank you guys for watching Yu-Gi-Oh! and Business Casual. I'm your host, the RJB0, and I got a jet. See you guys.